Kirby Smart is essentially the unanimous number one coach in college football right now. ESPN just let out a ranking. I've seen On3, I've seen CBS Sports. Everyone has kind of released rankings somewhat recently. All of them have something in common, and that's Georgia's head coach Kirby Smart being at the top of the list when it comes to that. I don't dispute it. Yeah, I cover Georgia. It's easy for me to do it. I talk to Kirby on a regular basis, air quotes on that, right? Because we don't get to talk to him much right in the offseason. But I'm around the program, and I've seen up close the success, and I've seen up close the head-to-head wins over some other really good coaches. We'll talk about that. But he is the best coach in college football. This is not me saying, are they right? Is this list right? This is me saying, yes, Kirby Smart's the best coach in college football. And even when Georgia is coming off of a year that for the program is considered disappointing, still won an SEC championship, still only lost 3 games. We're talking about what 90% of programs in college football would consider to be one of their better seasons, one of their best seasons ever. And it was disappointing for Georgia. Why? Because a standard has been created in Athens, and that standard is to compete for national championships, to win national championships. That's what Georgia's doing right now. They're competing and winning those trophies. And that's why he's number one. There's a lot I'm going to bring you. I'm going to bring you some quotes from some analysts. I'll bring you quotes from ESPN, and let's talk about this thing. And then kind of historically, we could look at it. But Kirby Smart, number one in college football. Ryan Curley from Dawg Post stamping that statement. It gets Ryan Curley's stamp of approval. You would get my stamp of approval if you checked out dawgpost.com, if you checked out our newsletter. Make sure you are checking out the site. We have a magazine preview deal and subscription deal going on, so make sure you're going over to Dawg Post, you're checking that out. And look, Matt, more so than Dean and I, and is pumping out articles over there, but I'm doing my fair share of writing. He's got all the recruiting insider information that you need. I know NIL has changed the game. I know it's made some of you less interested. Go check out what Matt's writing, because he is one of the best insiders when it comes to this. All right, always gonna pump my guy. So Kirby is 105-19 as the head coach for Georgia. That's an 84.7% win percentage in his 9 years as the head coach. He's entering year 10. Georgia's won 2 national championships. They've been to a third. They've won a Rose Bowl, an Orange Bowl, a Peach Bowl, another Orange Bowl, a Sugar Bowl, another Peach Bowl, right? They're winning these New Year's Six bowl games. I believe that 9-3 is the bowl record win percentage. And look, the ones they've lost have been Sugar Bowls, right? And a national championship. So doing it better than anybody else the last 9 years, right? I mean, obviously Nick Saban has had some years. So when you look at, I'm looking at ESPN's list, apparently it wasn't unanimous on, out of the ESPN people. 11 out of the 12 first place votes. Who got the other first place vote? I don't see who got the other first place vote. That's interesting. But 11 out of 12 first place votes for Kirby Smart. He only needs 5 wins to move to second all-time in wins through the first 10 seasons of a coach's career. He trails only Chris Peterson, who had 107 at Boise State and Washington in his first 10 years, and Bob Stoops, who had 109 at Oklahoma, and George Woodruff, 124 in the 1800s at Penn, right? He has more, I'm looking at the numbers and what they're providing from ESPN. He has more draft picks than losses, more first-round draft picks than losses, 20 first-round draft picks, 19 losses in his first 9 seasons. It's hard to argue it could be anyone other than Smart with Nick Saban retired. I guess if Ryan Day guided Ohio State to a second straight national title, or Dabo Swinney captured a third at Clemson this season, you can make the case they're better. I don't think Georgia's program is going to slip anytime soon, is what Mark Schlabach of ESPN covers Georgia pretty well. So ESPN has Ryan Day at number 2, Dabo Swinney at number 3. That's somewhat of a consensus top 3. Dabo, obviously multiple-time national champion. Ryan Day, I think he was the head coach in 2020, was he not? I'm blanking on if he was the head coach in 2020 or still the OC. That's bad on my part, but obviously they won the national championship this past year. So when you think about teams head to head, right? Another part that I don't know if anyone took into account when we're talking about this, but Kirby against Ryan Day, right? They won that game. They won by 1 point. I think that you can certainly go back and watch the Peach Bowl and say Kirby Smart outcoached Ryan Day. You think about that timeout call. You think about the comeback. Ohio State just falling short after being up by double digits in the fourth quarter, right? And then Kirby and Dabo faced off twice. 2021, Georgia wins 10-3. They sacked DJ Ugalele 7-8 times. Now, Georgia doesn't score a touchdown on offense, right? It's a pick six by Christopher Smith, but defensively completely shut Clemson down in that season opener. And then you think about the season opener a year ago. Georgia versus Clemson, Dabo versus Kirby. Georgia dismantles Clemson 34-3, right? Largely that coming in the second half. But 34-3 in a ranked neutral site game is considered a beatdown. It's considered a beatdown in any sense of the word. Dabo's all-time record, 180-47. Ryan Day's all-time record, 70-10. So obviously very, very good winning percentages. And Ryan Day's got a better winning percentage, I believe, right? They're saying 87.5. So that's a couple percentage points better than Kirby's. Marcus Freeman is number 4 on this list. Notre Dame's coach Steve Sarkisian, number 5, hailing from Texas. Dan Lanning, Oregon. Kalen DeBoer, Alabama. That's fine. I think that this placement's fine for him, but we got to see what he can do at Alabama. Obviously, the 1 year you don't make the college football playoff, that's not going to be an acceptable outcome in Tuscaloosa. That is very, very used to winning championships and being there at the end of the season. I give DeBoer 2 more years in Alabama if they don't get back to at least close to that. I think 7's fair for him. James Franklin, Penn State at 8. Kyle Whittingham, number 9 at Oklahoma or at Utah, been there for a long time. 167 and 86 overall there. Matt Campbell at Iowa State, they have him ranked at number 10. So maybe leaving some coaches off of this list, but Kirby, you look at all these lists and they have him at the top, and they have him at the top because of the in game. They have him at the top because of the winning. They have him at the top because of the draft development, because of the recruiting. There is nothing that another coach is doing better than him right now. There's just not. Georgia's consistently bringing in top 3, top 5 classes, sometimes number 1 overall recruiting classes. Excuse me. Again, bear with me. Georgia is competing for national championships. Georgia, like I said, an underperforming Georgia team that lost 3 games and was disappointing by Georgia fans, and now what the standard is, they just won the SEC championship. They pulled something off. They got a first-round bye. Joel Klatt, he has Georgia ranked at 8, but he said something that is interesting. That is interesting when he was ranking them, and he said it was hard to put Georgia at number 8 because of how good they are, and this is what he said, and it's a testament to Kirby. This is another team that I wasn't really sure what to do with. I wanted to put Georgia higher because it's Georgia. Kirby Smart is becoming the standard bearer in the sport. The standard bearer. And Georgia's standard, like I said multiple times throughout this, is to win. The 3-year span of 2021 to 2023 is going to be considered one of the best 3-year spans in college football history. And if Georgia lost by 3 points to Alabama in the SEC championship in 2023, if Georgia wins that game, we're talking about the best 3-game span undisputedly in college football history, with Georgia making 3 consecutive college football playoffs when it was the 14 playoff. Georgia went back-to-back. They were 14-1 in the national championship in 21, 15-0 national champions in 2022, 13-1 Orange Bowl champions in 2023. It is one of the best spans of football. They had like the longest home football win streak ever. They just had 3 more first-round picks. Kirby Smart, undisputed number 1, essentially, when you look at everybody's list. What do you think?